Almost everyone in crypto uses USDT on TRC-20. It is fast, it is cheap, it is everywhere. From Binance to Phantom wallets, from Telegram bots to DeFi on Tron. But what if I told you that this network, the one most people consider the safest and most convenient for stable coins, has a very real chance of being severely restricted or even effectively banned in many countries in the coming 12-24 months? I'm not talking about some crypto winter fear. I'm talking about concentrated regulatory moves that are already happening right now in 2026. Today I am going to give you the 7 most realistic and dangerous reasons why USDT on TRC-20 can actually be banned or made unusable for million people, and why you should at least start thinking about alternatives. Let's get into it. Number 7. Tron is already on multiple gray or black lists already. Tron has been flagged by many compliance tools and chain analysis companies as one of the highest risk networks for money laundering and sanctions evasion. Elliptic, Chainalysis and TRM Labs regularly put Tron addresses in the top 3 most suspicious networks right after Bitcoin mixers and some Russian darknet chains. In 2025 and 2026, several major exchanges already delisted or restricted TRC-20 deposits withdrawals for users from certain jurisdictions. If more countries follow the FATF recommendations, which they are already doing right now, Tron can easily end up the same category as Tornado Cash or some Russian mixers, which means automatic blocks on centralized ramps. Number 6. Justin Sun and Tron are under permanent regulatory spotlight. Justin Sun has been in regulators' crosshairs since 2023. SEC lawsuit, accusations of unregistered securities like TRX and BTT, wash trading allegations on Huobi and Poloniex. In 2025, the pressure only increased. Multiple jurisdictions opened investigations into Tron Foundation's entities. When the founder and the chain are under constant legal attack, it is very easy for governments to say, "We don't want our citizens using the tainted network for stablecoins." One big enforcement against Sun and Tron are TRC-20 USDT can become toxic overnight. Number 5. USDT issuer Tether is actively reducing Tron exposure. Tether itself has been quietly lowering the share of USDT issued on Tron since late 2024. They keep repeating in transparency reports and interviews that they are diversifying reserves across chains and focusing on more regulated networks. By the way, USDC Circle are even not have any stablecoin on Tron, so we are talking only about Tether. In 2025-2026, we already saw several large burns on Tron and means shifted to Ethereum, Solana and other chains. If Tether decides to gradually phase out heavy reliance on Tron, which is very likely under regulatory pressure, TRC-20 USDT liquidity can dry up fast, and that's the most as bad as a formal ban. Number 4. Tron is the number 1 chain for crypto scams and peak butchering. According to FBI, Interpol and Chainalysis 2025 and 2026 reports, Tron, especially TRC-20 USDT, is the most used blockchain for peak butchering scams, fake investment apps and romance fraud. Billions of dollars in scam proceeds flow through Tron every year. Governments, especially US, US, EU, Singapore and UAE are under huge pressure from victims and banks to do something about it. Banning or heavily restricting TRC-20 USDT is one of the easiest and most visible actions that can take, and it has already been discussed in multiple working groups. Number 3 is increasing KYC and AML blocks on Tron ramps. Major fiat on ramps like Binance, Bybit, OKX, KuCoin, ChangeNow and others have been tightening KYC and transaction monitoring for TRC-20 deposits and withdrawals since mid-2025. Many users already report that transfer over $1,000 and $2,000 get frozen for enhanced due diligence. If this trend continues, and it is already accelerating, soon using TRC-20 USDT for anything larger than small P2P transfer will require full KYC plus source of funds proof on almost every major centralized point, which for many people is equal to a soft ban. Number 2 is potential US and EU sanctions or SDN list inclusion. Tron Foundation or some associated entities are already under close watch by OFAC and EU sanctions teams. If even one major Tron link address or entity gets added to SDN or OFAC list, which happens regularly with high-risk chains, all USDT on Tron can become instantly unspendable for anyone who cares about secondary sanctions. We saw exactly this scenario with Tornado Cash and some Russian mixers. One listing and the whole network becomes radioactive. For TRC-20 USDT, this is not if, but when. The only question is timing. And finally, number 1. Governments want stablecoin control, and Tron is the easiest target. The biggest long-term reason governments, especially US, EU, Singapore and UAE, don't want people freely moving dollar equivalent value outside their control. They are pushing CBDCs and regulated stablecoins like USDC, PYUSD and URC and want to choke non-compliant alternatives. Tron is by far the largest unregulated stablecoin network. Over 50% of all Tether USD supplies lives on TRC-20. Killing or severely restricting TRC-20 is the fastest way to force mass migration to approved stablecoins. It is not about Tron being evil. It is about it being too big, too convenient and too hard to control. And finally, so these are the 7 most realistic reasons why USDT on TRC-20 can be restricted or effectively banned in the next 1-2 years. I am not saying it will happen tomorrow, but the direction is clear and the pressure is mounting. Do you still use TRC-20 as your main stablecoin rail? Because for me, I already almost removed USDT TRC-20 from my portfolio. Or maybe you already moved most of it elsewhere. Drop it in comments where you moved. Like it if this video helped you, subscribe if you want more reality check videos, and I'll see you in the next top.